Hey Amanda.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well.
Good.
Yeah, it's warmed up today, so it was nice out. I went for a long walk this morning with my dog.
Oh, that's nice. I know it's been more spring-like here as
Yeah.
well. Today it's been pretty rainy.
Oh wow.
I got some planting done yesterday, so they're all looking happy in the rain now.
Oh, cool. What are you planting?
I planted some Swiss chard, cilantro, sunflower microgreens, and
Mm,
some primrose. I don't know if you can see. It's all here.
nice. Oh, I like the little shed that you have.
Yeah, it's like a little kind of playhouse. We like it too, but we're gonna eventually take it down and put a deck with a pergola and a fireplace to have like a yoga area out there.
Pretty. Oh, that's great. Yeah, we killed our sprouts because I sprayed it with the vinegar water instead of the water bottle.
Well, it's not too late to start over.
That's so weird. Do you have any requests? Anything?
I still have like the same kind of neck stuff going on, but
Yeah.
if there's a way to work in like a little rocking figure four, that would be lovely.
A rocking figure four?
Oh, yeah, just like, the figure four stretch. We did it last time too.
Oh, okay, okay.
Like rock, and it kind of stretches out the hips and the piriformis a little bit.
Okay, yeah. I was thinking of working on the hips with that, some leg stretches and stuff, and
Sounds good.
various hip work. Okay, sounds good. Good to see you.
You too. Thank you.
Vicky, do you have any requests?
Um, I don't know. I'm kind of game for whatever. Last week's session was so good. I've been enjoying the results of that all week. I think
Hmm.
it was a great one. Um, I don't know. Some balls, some stretching, some I don't know poetry. I miss your roomie. Hafez.
Yeah, I haven't. I need to bust out some new ones.
Yeah, those were always great. Very appreciative.
There was one that I'll look into that. Kay, do you have anything you wanna?
Hips are good. They're always good for me. I've been doing lots and lots and lots of walking, so they get tired. So anything is anything is it's all good.
Okay, grab a strap if you have one or a tie. We'll start with the balls, and but we'll segue from there to some of the leg stretches. So you can start in constructive rest. I think I need to move this back a little. You can be in constructive rest and have the balls and the strap handy. Once you arrive into the check-in position, you can direct your attention down into the sacrum and the hips and allow yourself to sense the breath here, just the natural breath moving down into the sacrum, into the hips. You can use a long sigh through the mouth as a way to let go. Continue your breath naturally through your nose. Just briefly scan through the body, noticing what's here. Notice the depth of your breath as well, the quality of your mind, the quality of your emotional space. Connect with your intention. What quality would you like to connect with through your practice? Repeating your sankalpa 3 times internally. And we'll move to the massage, and we're going to focus on the upper glutes and the low back. So you can remove the balls from the toe, and the 2 balls, one can go on either side of your upper bum. So it would be, right around here. Oops, my microphone went. And you can land back in constructive rest. And just take a few breaths, noticing what's going on with your upper glutes. With the amount of pressure here, is it a little too intense? Do you need to adjust by maybe adding more padding underneath, or maybe moving it up and down a little bit? So you want to work at a comfortable level of pressure for your body. So I always like to just check in with the breathing first. And then when you're ready to move, you can start small. You can start by just windshield wiping the knees side to side. You can also add in a rolling motion by moving your hips side to side. So letting the balls roll across your upper glutes, and they're going to get a little unruly, and so you might have to corral them back in, and that's fine. If you want to add more pressure when you move your hips to the right, you can drop the left knee down, and vice versa. When your hips move to the left, you can drop the right knee down, and that's going to lean more weight into that side. Other movements that might yield some results here is you could hug one knee in, and you can make little knee circles. You can also come into the figure 4 here and roll in the figure 4. That can be more intense, and you have the option of keeping the balls one on either side. Or you could, if you want to make it even more intense, you could remove the ball from the side with the foot down. Another variation is you can put the 2 balls together on the side with the figure 4. And then you can switch the figure 4 cross if you're doing that version, or you can start by just hugging the other knee in first and making little circles. So it can be intuitive conversation with your body, with your glutes. Then we'll uncross this leg and you can take the balls and move it up to your low back. And it's yogi's choice. You can put it anywhere in your low back. So low back is technically the area bordered by your ribs at the top and your hip crest at the bottom. Just anywhere in that territory. And when you land here, take some breaths into your back. See if you can feel your breath expand the muscles against the balls on the inhale. And allow your back muscles to receive the pressure of the balls more on your exhale. You can proceed as gently as you need to. So if there's a lot of tension, go more gentle. So you can start by just, again, windshield wiping the knees, leaning a little bit side to side. Slow, steady breaths. You can also do the rolling motion with lifting the hips up a little bit and moving them so that the balls roll. And as I'm doing it, I'm kind of letting the balls go up higher. So you can let it be intuitive. You can move it up or down the low back as well. And then another motion that I like is I'll drop my sacrum back down, and instead of moving side to side, you can move through a happy tail so that your low back arches more, and then you can move through a sad tail so that you're pressing your low back into the balls more. You can find, little variations between all those different movements. And then we'll remove the balls from the low back, upper glute area, and just land back into rest and receive your breath. Feel just the natural movement of your breath now, and sensing if there's a shift in the depth and the quality of breathing. And we'll grab the straps next. So we'll start on the right leg. So I'll mirror and do my left instead. And your choice where you put the strap. You can put the strap on the instep in that inner arch area, and that will stretch through your hamstrings more. If you put it over the ball of the foot, you might feel the stretch more in your calf. And you can play around with the positioning to emphasize the stretch. The bottom leg can stay knee bent, foot on the floor, or you can elongate it on the floor, your choice. So first position is just stretching with the leg in center, in neutral, and take a few breaths into the back of the legs. The tendency is sometimes as we have this leg up that that hip will kind of hike up and shorten the waist on this side. So see if you can lengthen through the waist. And then we'll take the stretch dynamically so you can bend and extend the knee with your breath. So you can inhale as you extend, you can exhale as you bend, just getting um, warmth into that knee, blood flow. And then next time when you have the knee up, turn the leg in and out. So externally rotate so that the toes point out, internally rotate so that the toes point in, and you're firing up different muscles in your hip. Good, and then keep the external rotation. Hold on to the strap now with the same side hand, and keep your pelvis level as you open the leg out. And this is where furniture can come in handy. We're going to move dynamically first. So you can open out without tilting your sacrum over to that right side, and then come back in. So talking to those inner thigh muscles dynamically first, just opening out, pulling back in a few times. And then next time when you open out, if you have a wall, you could rest your leg there. You could use props. Another handy tool is you can grab your block and bookend your upper thigh so that your leg is supported as you're holding the stretch. And that can allow the inner thigh muscles to rest more in this elongation. And take a few breaths here. And then we'll migrate the leg back to the starting position. This time internally rotate the thigh so the toes point in. And then without lifting that hip up, just move that leg over to the other side in any amount and just really kind of feel like a big stretch through maybe the outside of the hip or some aspects of your hamstring, just depending on what's going on with your body. And then we'll move, you can move dynamically, and you can let this right hip rise on top of the left. And then you can come back and let that hip drop. So moving dynamically, crossing the leg over and letting the pelvis tip over to the side, tip back onto the floor, so that there's rotation in that middle back as well. And then eventually you can go to like three, drop that right leg over to the left side, stack the right hip over the left, and you can support the right foot with a block. Sometimes going all the way to the floor might not feel so comfortable, so maybe the foot is supported. So I'm supporting mine, but it's hard to see because I'm too close to the camera. Take another breath here in leg stretch 3. Deep press this top hip crest so that you lengthen through your low back more. And then we'll come back out. And you can lower this leg. You can take a strap out, lengthen through that hip, but draw your belly in so there's a quality of stability in your trunk as you lengthen and lower this right leg down. And take a pause and just let your legs become heavy to the floor and take a moment to compare sides and also to compare if there's a difference between the breath through one nostril versus the other. Yeah, and then we'll do the second leg. So you can place the left foot into your strap, your choice. It could be across the arch, could be over the ball of the foot, could be on the heel too, I guess. The different positioning will emphasize different areas of your leg in terms of the stretch sensation. You can take the stretch statically first and just take a few breaths to sense and feel into the back of this leg, the hamstrings, the calves. Then you can move dynamically a few times to warm up the knee. And then you can add in internal and external rotation in the hip, getting movement into that hip socket in all the different ranges. And then keep the turn out, hold on to the strap ends with the left hand. Keep your pelvis level so you can root the other leg down more as you open the left leg out to the side. And then you can come back in, moving dynamically first with your breath. So these leg stretches, a great way to open the breathing into the lower body. And the next time when you are out to the side, we'll stay. And if you have furniture, you can rest your foot on it, or you can take a block and bookend the upper thigh so that the leg is supported with your pelvis level. Then let your inner thigh muscles receive the support so that they're being lengthened, but they can relax. Then you can lift the leg back to center and internally rotate the leg. And for now, just cross it over to the other side without lifting the hip, and you'll get like an IT band stretch. I felt it more on my hamstring on the other side, and on this side, I feel it more in the IT band. So it's interesting how sides aren't even. And then when you're ready to, you can add in the twist by letting this pelvis rotate up and move the leg over in a comfortable amount. And you can rock on your sacrum a few times first. So sometimes if the back is sensitive with this, you can bend the knee to have less load on the back. So find your variation. And then eventually we stay in the twisted shape with that left hip stacked above the right. And maybe the foot can be supported on furniture, on block, staying in your twist here. When you're ready, you can come all the way back to the starting position You can take the strap out, stiffen in your trunk, or hollow your abdominal wall in as you elongate and lengthen through this leg. And you can shake it out and shake the legs out, and then take a pause and notice the entire lower body. Notice the quality of your breath. Is that directional breath more evident now? Good. We'll grab the block next, and you can transition the feet back down, knees bent, and we're elevating the pelvis now into a supported bridge. So here we get the benefit of an inversion. You could deepen that stretch through the chest. You can walk the two scapula in towards each other, and the arms can be out wide. So we're going to do a few things for the neck first. So keeping the head in center first, and then just rock your head over to the left side, and then rock your head over to the right side. I'm getting my hair tie out of the way. And it feels like you're tracing a semicircle from the top of your head. So this can help to release some of the tension in the neck. Just gently moving your head, tracing a semicircle at the back of the head. Next time when you go over to the right, stay, and you can gently bite your tongue. This is gonna actually help turn off the jaw. And take 3 deep breaths here, just gently biting the tongue. And then after those 3 breaths, take your head back to center. Take a moment and check in. And then sickle your head over to the other side. And you can stay for 3 breaths, gently biting your tongue. Take 3 deep, full body breaths, letting your inhale move all the way through your torso. And allowing all the muscles in your upper body to release. And then take your head back to center when you're done with those 3 rounds of your breathing. And then we'll do the figure 4 here, so you can cross that right leg. And we'll stay and breathe into the pelvis, into the hips. You can stay here and just make it a completely passive, more of a restorative pose. You can add in a little work through the hips by pretending. So you can press into the left foot without tucking the pelvis. So keep a happy tail. Press into all 4 corners of your left foot. Allow your belly, the abdominal wall, to hollow in, and as if you're trying to lift your pelvis up. And this will just fire up the glutes, fire up the trunk, the core, just to activate a little work through the hips and the core. Just taking some breaths here. It'll restrict the breathing a little bit if you are doing it. And then we'll lengthen that right leg up. And then again, you can be active with the legs. You can pretend like you're pressing into your left foot and trying to lift up, but you don't have to. And then the right leg is active and reaching up. And then keep the chest from collapsing. So lift the chest, expanding through here. We'll slowly bend this right knee, lower that foot without collapsing in the upper body. And take a moment and feel. We'll do that sequence on the second side so you can cross and place your left foot onto your right thigh. So outer ankle touching the middle of the thigh bone. And then release that left knee down. You can be passive with the hip muscles, just letting the bones support you. You can also engage the work by pressing into all four corners of your right foot without tucking your tailbone. So keeping your sacrum level on the block. And when you do that, you'll feel belly muscles hollow in, glutes firing, just everything working through that right leg. And then we'll transition with that left leg up and reaching that left leg towards the sky as you root the right foot down. So the legs are moving in opposition, keeping that back bend in your upper back as well, trying not to up your heart down and collapse there. And we'll bend that left knee, lower that foot down. We'll stay for 1 minute passively here in the supported bridge. You also have the variation of taking the feet together and dropping the knee out to the side. So staying passively in whichever variation feels best for you. Relaxing the jaw, relaxing the eyes, relaxing the neck. When you're ready to, you can root down through both feet, lift the sacrum off, and pull the block out. And we'll lift the arms upward by the head. When you exhale, you can traction your spinal column down, one vertebra at a time. And then you can float your arms down, let your spine settle back into its natural shape. We'll transition onto the side. And we'll come into a supported child's pose. So you can use your setup to support your body. Um, make a little bolster. And it could be the traditional way, which is the bolster supports the torso and the knees are on either side. And you can lie down with the head turned to one side. Sometimes that might not feel comfortable if the neck is sensitive. So sometimes maybe the bolster going across and the forearms and the forehead supported like this might feel better for the neck, or even having the hands, palms together. Other ways that you can support yourself if your hips are kind of hanging in the air, you can also roll a blanket or some towels and support behind your knees. As you stay here, allow yourself to feel your natural breath moving through your back body, especially from the middle back all the way down, back and down into the sacrum, into the hips. And also begin to slow your exhalation down. You notice that it is shorter than your inhale. Exhale to longer, fuller. And as that exhale elongates, notice what you can sense about the subsequent inhalation. You have your head turned to one side, and if it feels comfortable for you on the other side. Go ahead. Watch your body breathe for 3 more rounds here. When you're ready, out of child's pose and slowly support yourself. We'll transition from this forward fold into a side lying position. So you can turn, if you had your blanket set up going the long way, you can turn it so that it's across your mat. We're going to be side lying over it to open up the intercostals. And again, the height of this will depend on your body and obviously what's available. We want to side lie with the side of our ribs here. And we want to have the shoulder off and the head off. And the head can be supported with another pillow. We want to make sure the neck and the shoulder are comfortable. I'm going to go on the right side. So the knees can be bent and you can come down so that the side body is on there. The shoulder is off. We don't want the shoulder to get smushed. So let the shoulder come off of the bolster, and then the head can go as low or as high as you need it to be for your neck. Sometimes if it's too far down, it feels like too big of a stretch. So adjust your head support. And we're going to move with the arms first. So you can start with the palms together. And we're just going to take 3 movements of a rotation. So you can lift that top arm up towards the ceiling. You can look at it as you inhale. And then when you exhale, you can turn back onto your side. Steady, mindful breath, letting the breath be long and smooth. And then sometimes if the breath is more choppy, disturbed, it's okay to take several breaths within the movement as well. We want to work with our body and our nervous system where it's.
And after 3 rounds of this just twisting motion, add in a circular motion on the shoulder. If the shoulder is very tight, make a circular motion with your elbow bent, holding on to the shoulder, and then you're basically making a circle by moving the elbow around. You also have the option of doing this with the arms straight. If you are doing it with the arms straight, try to touch something as you go. It's going to probably be pretty intense towards this back end, so don't force. Like if it's super intense, bend your elbow. So just 3 times in one direction with your circle, and then 3 times in the other direction. Can be very gentle if you notice a lot of constriction towards that back, and modify. Then after you've done those circular movements through your shoulder, you pick where you want to stay. Uh, if you want to keep it as a pure side body stretch, you can stay in that side body position. And I like to lift the arm up and rest it on the ear, and the fingers will touch the ground. This will just stretch through the side body more. If you like the position when you turn your chest to the ceiling, you could choose to add in that turn so there's a little bit of a back bend in your side bend. That's okay too. Wherever you are though, make sure this top arm is not just way up in the air. Make sure that is supported somehow so that your shoulder can relax. And as we stay, we can find that thoracular breath, that or thoracic breath, more movement in the rib cage on the inhale, the sense of the breath expanding sideways. Then on the exhale, allowing your body to rest more into the bolster, into the blanket. Three more breaths on this first side. And you're ready to come out. If you're in the back bend, turn so that you're on the side only first, and then take your top hand down. You can gently support yourself out of this side line. It might be interesting to just take a moment and sitting and just see if there's a difference between your breath between the right and the left side. So these little moments where we pause and we compare helps to build our proprioception, our capacity to feel our bodies. Then we'll transition and we'll do the side lying stretch on the second side. You might need a different level of propping, and that's okay. It could be less, could be more. Make sure that the shoulder and the neck are comfortable on this side. And then you can meet the hands together as best as you can. And then you can move through the twist. So you can lift that top arm and
Follow your eyes, follow your hand with your eyes. And so that turns the neck as well. Finding your reach and your rotation in a comfortable amount. And after those 3 rounds with the reaching and the rotation, add in the circular movement with the shoulder. It could be with the elbow bent, or it could be with the arm straight. And again, synchronize the full circle with a full breath. And three rounds in one direction, 3 rounds in the other direction. And then yogi's choice, how you want to rest. You can be completely on your side to accentuate that stretch. You can add in a turn of your chest to the ceiling. Wherever you're at, make sure that your top arm is supported. And finding that capacity for your ribs to stretch and move with your breath. Find that capacity of your body to soften and receive with every exhale. Receiving the support of the bolster and the ground. Noticing how in this moment it's absolutely safe for you to come back into the body. Watch yourself breathe for 3 more rounds here. We're ready to transition first onto your side. Slowly support yourself out of sideline. And it's yogi's choice of your resting position. Could be just regular corpse pose, could be legs up the chair. So whichever position seems to call to your body right now. Once you're settled into your resting pose, notice all the different ways you're being supported, all the different places where your body touches some support. And then noticing the way that your breath is nourishing you right now. That ebb and flow of life's pulse moving through you. Since we're in various shapes, that's going to emphasize the breath in one place more than the other. So you can pick a place in the body to rest where it's easy for you to feel the breath and where breath feels easeful. The back body, heart, belly. Telling your nervous system, reminding it that it's safe, that it can land here in this moment. Trust this quality of support that's present. Allowing the jaw and the eyes to soften. Watch your body breathe for 3 more rounds here. Light movement as you're ready.
we'll meet up in a comfortable seat and we'll do a variation of the alternate nostril breath as our meditation. So in this variation of the alternate nostril breathing, we'll be inhaling through both nostrils, and then we'll close one nostril and we'll exhale just through one side, and then we'll inhale again through both. We'll switch and we'll exhale through the other side. So we'll do 8 rounds of that. And what this does, it helps to balance the subtle channels of energy that goes up and down the spine. And it also extends, in theory, the exhale, because we're only exhaling through one nostril. So it has, in theory, more of a parasympathetic relaxation response. So you want to go at your own pace. You can use your thumb, your ring finger to close the nostrils. And we'll start together, but you want to again go at your own pace so that it's a comfortable amount for your body. So wherever you are with your breathing, go ahead and take an exhale now. And then inhale through both nostrils to begin. Your pace. When you're done with that inhale, you can close your right nostril. And the tendency is to kind of push the air out. Try to resist that and just let your body exhale through the left side on its own. That way, the exhale will be very steady and very long. Your pace, your timing. When you need to inhale, you release, and then it's very subtle. It's almost like you're just watching your body inhale on its own. Then you close the left nostril when you're ready, and you allow your body to exhale through the right on its own. And that's 1 round. Continue for, let's do 5 more rounds. And with all breathing practices, we want to stay at a comfortable maximum. We want to find that right balance between effort and ease. You're done with the 6 rounds. You can let go and simply receive your breath. Receive yourself as you are, and noticing yourself in this new moment after your practice. checking in on your intention, sensing that essence, that quality is present within you now. So I'm going to unmute all of us and we'll do namaste and an om together. And then the hands to the heart. We'll take one round om to seal the practice. Stay. Thank you for coming to practice. Another way we could close that I love is also just saying prayers. A little different than sometimes just having that, using our voice to speak of auspiciousness and speak of hope is also very, very healing. So if you would like to say some prayers, either for yourself or for others, as a way to end our practice here, you're welcome to do that.
Just wishing everybody happiness and safety and good health. And we'll all get through this together.
Aho. But in the Native American tradition, like in talking circles, when after somebody speaks, they say aho as a way to acknowledge them. I'm not sure what it means, but feels good. It's like amen.
Aho.
May all beings be free from suffering and carry peace in their heart.
Aho.
And may our nation soon start healing.
Aho.
Oh.
Aho.
No matter what situation, what circumstance that they're in, may this pandemic, may this opportunity help all of us to awaken to our true nature. We know ourselves as love and as peace. And may we recognize that we are in essence one.
Oh.
Sunday, everybody,
Carmen, do you want to drop a prayer in as well?
No, I'm just going to say thank you very much for the class, and I really appreciate everybody who's kind of reaching out and trying to make us still feel connected during these times.
Yeah, thanks for coming. It's good. It's great to see everybody.
Thank you, Anchi. Next week.
Sure. See you next time. Take
Yes.
care.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.